Good.
Okay, guys. Again, thanks for covering us. Obviously, we're excited about the opportunity this week with Florida State. We just finished our second practice of the week, and as soon as I'm done here, we'll get back to our meetings and continue to our preparation. So, any questions you have, I'd like to get going.
Steven's participation in practice today, was he full go?
Yeah, he looked better. He's been looking better, and again, I fully expect him to be, just clean bill of health by Saturday. He looked markedly better today, so I'm excited about him.
Is it hard to really say that you expect him to be 100%? Just kind of the way it's been going the last couple of weeks.
Well, I thought
maybe he's 10%.
Yeah, man. I think he looked better this past game than he has looked. He moved better. In the pocket, he moved better in terms of when we moved the pocket on him. He looks different. His personality's coming back. He's not worried about it. There's no anguish over it or anything. He's starting to feel good and get back, and we're excited about it.
How about Rashawn Scott and Casey Rogers, two guys obviously were.
Yeah, Casey was better than I thought today. So I'm going to go look at the film, but it looked like he's going to make it, and Rashawn Scott is fine. So Rashawn is, I think by now he should be caught up on his condition and everything. He has no problem with his learning or understanding what we're doing on offense. So he's doing good.
Now, there was so much speculation about the stats of Steven these last few weeks. How much of it do you think wasn't so much the ankle, but just the timing? I mean, even when you're limited in practice, when you get out of your routine,
Yeah.
That's when reps can go awry, obviously.
Yeah.
How much of a factor do you think that was?
I think that's fair, Tim. I do. I think it was a really good, lesson. Not just for Steven, but for all of us. And it doesn't matter anymore. You have to perform in practice. You have to execute, and then there's carryover into the game. And I do want to make sure that we're not making excuses for anybody, starting with me. We have to separate, the ailment from the decision making from the North Carolina game, because even though he still had the ailment, he made better decisions in this past game. I think he swung the pendulum, as you would imagine, after 4 turnovers against North Carolina. I think he swung it way to the left, and now he's just got to go out and play. And he understands the importance of protecting the ball. Now he's just got to go out and prepare and play.
Is Alan Hearns getting 100% and how?
Yeah, Allen was ahead of schedule today, so we fully expect him. We're probably not going to let him get hit tomorrow, but we do expect him to be able to run routes and things of that nature. And that's kind of like a hip pointer for you guys that don't know. So I expect Allen to be, markedly better tomorrow.
Not that he would have been a player this week anyway, but Danny Isidore.
Again, that is all the medical team right now, and I'm as anxious as you are to cover him. I want him to play. I mean, he had such a good spring. He really had a great summer, and then just really had just an unfortunate, accident, if you will, just running, where he turned his foot and he needed to get a surgery on that. So we're being careful because of his size and because of his youth. And we're just going to be prudent with that. And when he's cleared, guys, I'll let you know. But it doesn't look like it'll be this week.
Now, when they were here for the article, Jimbo talked about how there was a stretch, I think like in 11, when they lost 3 or 4 in a row, and people weren't real happy, obviously. And then they started winning, and he felt like the program was finally his. That not because they were winning, but because everything was kind of his way. Have you had that moment here yet where you really feel like all the stamps are yours? Kind of?
I don't, only because of we've been embroiled for 2.5 years, so I wish I felt like that. I feel like we're making progress. I think clearly, you have to be a program to graduate the number of kids that they graduated and yet be in the same situation that they're in right now. We are building that, so a lot of people were premature and say the U is back. The U is building. We have to continue to build. We have to continue to recruit. We have to continue to cultivate and get our guys obviously in the systems and grow and mature. But I do like the direction that we're going, Tim, despite what we've been through. And, excited about the future. If there was a moment of that, it was probably at 8:35 on Tuesday where I felt like, okay, here we go. And certainly it felt a lot better. I'll tell you what, Tim, I couldn't sleep on Sunday. I wanted to get to work so bad. I think there's a lot of kids on this team, a lot of coaches on this team that feel that way now because we've left that in the past now.
And after 8:35 Tuesday, have you gotten a real tangible sense of what this means to people that are looking at joining you in the program?
Yeah.
Recruits and families, have you heard a lot from them?
Yeah, I think it's twofold. Number one, our conversations are taking a different path now, and all of the things that you said that would happen have come to fruition now, and so that it kind of it supports the trust factor that you have with those families. So that's number one, and then number two, you're not a sitting duck anymore. So they could say whatever they want about our football program right now. But they really can't say anything about the ongoing investigation, or there's going to be a death penalty, or they're going to lose 30 scholarships, or they're not going to go to a bowl game. All those things that I classified as toxic over the last 28 months have disappeared. We still have some things that we have to move forward with and deal with in terms of sanctions, but at least if they're going to negative recruit, or if they're going to recruit against us, it's going to be about what we do on the field. It's going to be about our surrounding, our beautiful surroundings here. It's going to be about the weather. It's going to be about our tradition. It's not going to be about the NCAA.
Along those lines, Blake was telling us that I guess the 9 scholarship reductions are, you can divide it any way you want, or through you. As a coach, already, I guess, operating, under, how much easier does that make it for you having the experience of dealing with scholarships?
Yeah, well, it's an experience I'd hate to go through again. I got blindsided. This is part due for me, but March of my freshman year at March of my first year at Temple, we lost 9 scholarships that spring from APR that happened before I got there. So we know how to manage it from being involved in that. We'll do that moving forward. But I will be honest with you, Manny, I really haven't looked at the other things that we need to do. Jen and Craig, our compliance department, they're going to sit down with me once we get away from the intensity of where we are right now in the season.
What was your first sense out of losing 9 is not going to be too hurtful?
Well, I mean, you don't want to lose any, but at the end of the day, you accept it and you move forward. You really can't do anything about it. But I will say this in defense of our administration and defense of our young people that have endured this and our staff. When people say they got a slap on the wrist, I take offense to that because we've unless you've lived it, unless you've been here, it's hard to quantify that, and it's immeasurable what these kids have given up, and they've given up a lot. So I think again, I'm grateful to the leadership that we've had, not just President Shalala, Blake James, but our legal counsel led by Mike Glazier. I think they were just phenomenal in leading us through this, and because of that, we have a chance to move forward Tuesday, not start the penalties. So I'm grateful to them.
In the last couple of weeks, I think you've heard us say people maybe expect to roll the bigger wins, but do you get more out of the fact that you've had those 2 tough games like that came down to maybe going into this week, or does that impact?
Yeah, it's all about you extracting whatever you can extract that's positive in each of those games, and certainly winning late in games, overcoming adversity, things not being perfect, all of those things, we extract. But the biggest thing is, are we learning? We have to learn a great deal and improve individually a lot from last Saturday to this Saturday to have a chance on Saturday in Tallahassee, to really play well and have a chance to win. We have to learn. Again, I think we had a good mindset today. I think we got better today. I'm going to go look at the film and make sure the execution is where it needs to be. But, you cannot have breakdowns on special teams. You cannot turn the ball over. You cannot have penalties. And all of those elements are factors in this game.
You guys crack the code to Solomon James Winston yet? Or?
I'd be worth a lot more if I could crack that code. I mean, he's playing really good football. Again, God bless the kid. He's playing good football. He's, matured beyond his years. He's directing the ball where it needs to go. His touchdown to interception ratio is phenomenal. His completion percentage is elite, and he's using everybody around him. The yards per completion of their receivers and tight ends is through the roof. They have a running game to go with it, and a veteran offensive line. So it's a great challenge. It's a challenge and an opportunity. It's nothing to be nervous about or anxious about. We have to prepare and we have to have a really good game plan and then execute it against this young man because he's really talented.
You've had 5 last-second wins already since you've been here.
Yeah.
Last second or last minute. How long does it take you personally to bounce back physically and mentally from the?
I don't know. I don't know if you ever get used to it, but I will say that we're playing with poise at the end of the games right now, Tim, and that our guys, are starting to learn how to enjoy the battle, and we're getting leadership. In that last huddle, it's Linder, it's Alan Hearns, it's Randy Johnson wanted the ball. He kept saying, give me the ball, and I think obviously the kids believe in Steven, and it's immaterial what has transpired before that last drive. They believe in Steven, that he's going to win the game for them. So we're getting leadership. We got to continue to have poise and understand that there's going to be a surge in this game between the environment and how they want to attack you, and we got to be able to to fight through it, have poise, and we need leadership at that moment.
What about you personally, though, Al, when Jake makes the kick in Tampa, when Mike James scores in Atlanta, when Duke and Dallas do their thing the last 2 weeks? Just what's that, when the clock goes 4-0, what are you feeling like? Who are we playing next week? You just keep going. You don't really, I wish I could tell you, but it's one of those deals where we've made a commitment just to stay in this bunker and work on the process every day. You enjoy it, certainly, you enjoy the victories, but then it's you have to move on, and we have a mentality right now that we're going to count them up at the end of the year and see how good we can be. But it's really been 1 game seasons. I'm proud of our guys that they have overcome adversity, and they're fighting and they're counter-punching. But make no mistake, we are not planning to play from behind in any of these games. It's not part of the game plan.
Al, you say every game is the same, but have you stayed even longer? Have you gone home at all this week?
No, it's really not a function of that. I believe in working smart. I believe in being efficient. I don't really, I think you could sit there, you could stay till midnight if you want. You only got the kids for 4 hours, and you got to find a way to make it simple for them. So again, I think our staff works hard, but I think more important, I think we work efficient. We use our time really well in terms of our walkthroughs, our meetings. We have, obviously wireless capability now where the kids, if they need to watch something tonight, they can watch it. We can send it to them. It's really just about everybody being locked in and being on the same page and not wasting any time. But to say all of a sudden you get the Florida State week and let's all stay till 1 o'clock and change everything, that's not going to be the answer. We know that's not the answer. And to be honest with you, Susan, we had to do too much of that a year ago. Not just in this game, but in a lot of games. We had to try to find manufacture ways to win instead of letting the kids, trust the kids and letting them go play. And certainly a good indication of my trust level in the team was when we punted with 10 minutes to go in the game. Totally trusted the defense at that point. They went out 3 and out. We got the ball back. I think we scored 6 or 7 plays later. So there is a trust certainly there, with this team.
From the outside, if you're writing stories about you guys, it would seem like you have kind of an identity, this cardiac gains.
Yeah.
Thrown around it. How tangible is that? You guys talk about that?
We don't talk about it. We don't. And again, guys, I know you guys go. I leave and you're like, man, that guy's a fool. He doesn't think his kids see all this. I know my kids see everything you guys write. They see it. Trust me. But one of our biggest jobs every week is just trying to get them to focus on what we need to focus on. So, whether it's that moniker or, whatever's going on outside, whether it's the NCAA or people were talking about the Florida State game last week, man, we just got to get them to focus on each day, and we really need our leaders to help us with that in the locker room area because we can't be there, But don't think for a second that as we were preparing for last week, if they were over getting lunch on campus, don't think for a second that people were saying, hey, are you ready for Wake? They were talking about the NCAA, or they were talking about in the dorm, hey, I'm going to Tallahassee next week, can't wait. So those are the things that we're battling every day, and I'm speaking on behalf of all coaches. I mean, we're all battling that. We got to keep our guys focused on what we're trying to get done in the game, what we have to execute, and certainly on preparation.
In 2.5 years here, you've faced some awfully good teams, Kansas State, Florida.
Yeah.
Is this the toughest team to find areas to expose and the toughest opponent of anyone you faced here?
I think that's a great question. It's a very complete team. I'm playing with a white-hot quarterback right now. The quarterback's playing exceptionally well right now, and you might be right. The receivers can beat you deep. They can come back to the ball. They have length. a number of running backs with Wilder back, certainly, a big-time tight end, offensive line that's a veteran, who's who on defense. Their front seven is, everybody, in terms of just the talent and size and strength up front, linebackers that are rangy and can run, and a secondary that can play man, and obviously a guy like Joyner that makes it all go for them. So, and good on special teams. So you're probably right. It probably is the most complete team that we've seen.
Coach, we talked to the players and asked them their favorite memory from this rivalry. Want to know if you had yours?
I don't have a favorite memory right now from this rivalry. Maybe just the first time being a part of it, the first game. But in general, we have selective memory when it comes to losses. You know what I mean? We try to block it out. And but it's great to be a part of this, and we all want to be a part of this, and we want to continue to recruit, Miami Hurricanes that want to be a part of this. And I'm glad it's back in its rightful place on a national stage.
As a student at that stage, you watched the wide left and right.
Man, who didn't watch those games? Who didn't watch those games? Again, just growing up watching them. Then as I started my coaching career, watching them, and now we gotta stay in the moment and enjoy it, and just focus on it every day and see how good we can get this week.
Denzel's a lucky semifinal.
Yeah.
His first 7 games, just what have you seen from him?
Well, he's more complete player. I mean, I think I alluded to that earlier this season, that he's studying the game more. He's working harder on the field. He's coachable. Clearly his size has made a difference in his game. He hasn't lost his explosiveness, but he's 240, 241 now and holding it. He's made a commitment to his nutrition, to his strength, and I think it's made a difference in his game. He's practicing harder, and very, very happy for him and proud of him in the commitment that he's made, to everything that you need to do to be, to obviously ascend to be that type of player.
Coach, similarly, Tyrone Cornelius, he's been coming on.
Yep, he has been.
Can you talk about what maybe changed or what you've seen positive?
He's gone to work every day. Tyrone is, he's certainly much bigger than he was a year ago. He's 225, and he's been able to hold his weight, so he's stronger. He's always been very gifted in terms of his acceleration and his pass defense, but now he's become more of a complete player. So very excited about the direction that Tyrone's going, and everything that he's gotten. He's earned, and so he got the start last week, and obviously we plan on starting him this week.
I know you were very excited when you got Pat O'Donnell.
Yeah,
I think 2 practices in the camp, and you called the most impressive player you got on the field.
Yeah.
Could you envision Dave Hunter having as much of an impact on the actual outcome of games as it seems like he's really had?
No, Timmy's been good. He's been very impressive. That kick that he made at the end of the game last week was awesome. I don't know what I think he netted 44 yards, had 2 inside the 20, and then obviously kicked 4 of the 5 kicks out of the end zone. So he's made a difference for us for sure.
He would be in the mix for a national statistical title if you guys punted more.
Yeah.
A nice problem to have, I guess.
Well, again, I think he should be in that conversation anyway. To be honest with you, I think he deserves to be in that conversation. I think he's worked hard at his craft, and he's very skilled. He's not just talented; he's skilled.
Before North Carolina, there was a lot of work on the environment. You guys worked on signals,
Yeah.
communication. It's going to get ratcheted up a little bit more
Yeah.
this Saturday. Did you all learn anything from that experience?
Sure. Yeah.
What did the kids take from North Carolina?
Yeah, I think it's really not a function of us doing anything different, Christy, in terms of saying, okay, here's what we learned from that. I think it's really a lot of experience. A lot of guys are learning, hey, you know what? I can't rely on so-and-so to tell me, what formation it is. I got to see the signal, or I gotta make sure I know that, this is the protection that we're running, or whatever the case may be. On defense, I have to work, with either my corner or safety if I'm in the back end, or so I think it was a lot of individuals that collectively learned something from the game, and how to play with poise, and understanding that, the one thing that we know on Saturday night is that crowd's not going away. That's the one thing that we know. And so prepare for it, and then find a way to get zeroed in on 2 acres and a ball and execute.
Coach, a lot of talk is made of Winston, but Devonta Freeman, Wilder,
Yep.
Bernard, they're really good. Also, can you talk about what you see out of them
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, they're a complete team, and even Carlos Williams has been playing back there as well. So I mean, that gives them three really good running backs, veteran offensive line, unselfish fullback. So again, that's what makes them difficult right now. Running game, the ability to go deep, and play action game to accompany it, and a quarterback that's making good decisions.
The seniors having beaten Florida State, how much does that make a difference, or does it play a factor at all?
I don't know. All those storylines, guys. I know you're doing your job, but we don't discuss any of it. At the end of the day, none of it matters. If I'm not going to say, 2 weeks ago, hey, listen, these guys have never beaten us, then why would I do the opposite now? So I don't mention playing at home or playing away. I don't mention playing in the morning versus playing at night. I don't mention spreads. I don't mention, I'm just being honest with you. I don't mention any of that. It's really a function of us preparing and believing in what we're asking our guys to do and executing it.
Al, you gave a few more freshmen some more time. Regarding Burns, obviously comes to mind. Do you weigh at all about this being a big stage Saturday in terms of how much to play freshmen, whether it's too big for some of them?
Yeah, I hope it's not. I mean, we're to the point in the season where it's going to be November by the time we play, right? Does anybody know the date right now? I just think it's one of those deals where, it's time to go play. There's no freshmen anymore, and it's really about you doing your job and executing. Guys, good. Everybody have a great week. Okay, we'll see you up there.